At this time, I realized 2017, at this time, I'm supposed to be sitting in my big house with my nice cars, motorbikes, with my kids. You know what I'm saying? And my independence. That's all been taken away from me. That CBI job was in the bag. The system took that away from me. Women in the system were treating me bad because of what happened with me and Hayley. This is where it all started with me and Hayley. That's when they started looking at me. So now the women in the system are holding me back. They will stop halting my progress. I'll tell you about my progress, how I know about it in a minute. So they were halting my progress. This is also because I haven't seen Lorenzo yet, or Hayley, or been to court or whatever. So they took that job away from me, that job. That was $370,000 cash a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying? That was my house and my cars and my investments for my kids and myself. Gone, just like that. I never ever thought that people could mess with my jobs and my career the way they have. I thought that was a number one no-no, basically. If someone in life is working and doing what they're supposed to, you know, you don't mess with that. It doesn't matter if you don't like them or they owe you something or whatever. You don't mess with someone's life and their career. You know what I'm saying? People don't. Easily, they just took it away from me like that. This is 2013. They still bully me today. I'm still broke and unemployed. Anyway, I'll carry on with the story. So that job, a couple of months later, the girl rings me back. She says, "Oh no, Baden, your application papers didn't go through on the internet or something like that." Now I know that's nonsense because they've paid so much money for me to do all these tests. She would have called me and said, "Baden, we need you to come into the office to do your paperwork, this and that, blah, blah, blah." Standard procedure if it doesn't work on the internet. Little did I know at this time too that the internet was all hacked. My brownie towels. Or mine anyway. My accounts. Baden on Hotmail, whatever. People knew everything I'm doing. Electronically, technologically wise. Yeah, my phone. It's been since then. People have been watching me on my phone, following me around. My Hotmail accounts, everything. Wherever I go out in public, whenever I step out the door, people are following me, watching what I do and listening to me. It's been happening since 2011. Okay, so that job was gone. Man. I didn't know this. I just accepted it and carried on. So what happened was, the system's taken away my construction jobs, my good jobs that I was looking for. Every time I came back from work, I'm applying again for a job. I'm looking for the construction now. Shouldn't have a problem. I've done plenty of it before. So they've taken away my construction future, my houses, my cars and all that basically, and my kids. And they've given me these little jobs here and there. A shutdown here and a shutdown there. A 4-week stint here, a 4-week stint there of punch listing. I didn't realize this. So when I got these little mediocre kind of jobs, I was quite excited because I'm just getting on with my life. In my head, I'm just thinking, oh yeah, cool, another job, come, I'm gonna go do this job. Little did I know that there was this whole plan of limiting my progress. They denied me progress in my future and my life. They kept me thinking I'm still working, I'm still doing this and that. Little did I know, they cut me off. This is my job and my career. I tried to do a mediation for Aliyah, my daughter. Because in 2006 I went to do mediation. And my ex-wife, she didn't show up to the mediation, but then we caught up with each other after that and everything was fine. Then she left. She just disappeared with my baby, my daughter. And I hadn't seen her since. So 2013 I tried to do mediation, and I spoke to a lady, and she said, yeah, no worries, Catherine or something, or Christine her name was. I got the letters here somewhere. And she said, yeah, no worries, you can do mediation, tell me all about it, what happened, and when's the last time you seen your daughter. Little did I know, they all know my business already. So I've given her all this information. And she says, yeah, okay, I'll get back to you in a minute, no worries. About 2 or 3 days later, she sends a message back on my Hotmail saying, it's been too long since I've seen Aaliyah, so I can't do mediation. I have to go through the courts and stuff. Which I thought was quite strange anyway. Because when I tried to do parenting orders or parenting orders kit in 2007 after my wife disappeared, I could never get those forms filled in and through the courts because I didn't have an address for where Mervy lived. I didn't know where they were for 8 years. So I could never get those parenting orders done to see my daughter and have her in my life. I even paid a lawyer $40 and he told me that he couldn't he couldn't get these parenting orders papers through the courts because we don't have an address. So I was spewing. So anyway, 2013 I tried to do mediation. She said I couldn't do mediation, so I had to go through the courts. Alright, no worries. Anyway, I caught up with Maresce Chillum in the city. And we had lunch in 2013, about June, July. Yeah, now when I went to the office, she made me wait. There's this thing. Everybody was making me wait. It's to do with Lorenzo and Haley as well. Because I think apparently I was making her wait according to the system. So people from then started making me wait. They limited my progress in my jobs and my life and my future and my career. Maresce made me wait there in the office. I waited a while. Then she finally came. We went to have lunch. I think we had some iced tea. Yeah, so little did I know that she knew. Everybody knew. When I was in people's lives, they knew that I'm coming to be in their lives. They were told what to do, what to say, and how to treat me. You know, I didn't know at this time. And anyway, lunch went great. Love seeing Maresce, beautiful woman. And we walked, it was pretty cool. She had posters all up over the city, you know, like, kind of like a celebrity. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So yeah, and it was this thing too. The system was trying to show me like woman power, like women are the power, you know what I mean? It's like they treat me like I've got something against women. They came in with this attitude from the beginning, and I haven't done anything to no one. You know, I haven't done anything intentionally to hurt anyone or any woman in my life. So lunch went great. I was catching the bus home, and then she rang me up on the bus. She rang me up on the bus on the way home. She said, oh, I don't think we should see each other anymore, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No worries, not a problem. We'll see each other around in life sometime. So yeah. And I mean, I believe she was orchestrated to do that. Make me wait, then call me up and tell me not to see each other again, or whatever. She's orchestrated to do that. Belinda Johnson made contact with me in 2013. Or me with her, I can't remember. Because she's a bit of an entertainer, she sings and all that kind of stuff. So again, she's another woman. See, all these women have been in my life in the past. So now the system's got them all in my life now. They're fishing from me. Now, Belinda Johnson, they were young when I went to Sydney, 2000, 99, 2000, whatever. So it's like the system now has got everyone that's been in my life, basically, a woman-wise, to be in contact with me. Because they want to see now whether because of these photos on my phone and what's happened with Hayley, they want to see. They think I'm some kind of pervert or there might be something that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because they can read what I'm thinking through technology. I thought, anyway, I won't go into detail now. Now, Belinda, I think I'll come back to the story. No, I say it now because Belinda, she's funny because I always used to remember Belinda as a girl in a little blue dress, right? So one time in their house, she was on the couch, she was scratching herself. She was laying on the couch, she used to lay on the couch and watch TV, the lounge door was there. So I walked in one day and she was scratching herself or whatever she was doing, right? And so I walked back out the lounge and just left her. Because I didn't like want to embarrass her or whatever, you know what I mean? Even though she's a little girl. So this is what goes through my mind. It's funny, it's comical, because that's all it was. I walked into the lounge and she was scratching herself and that was it. And I remember her as the girl in the little blue dress. So this is one thing that I'll get into detail later about girls and perversion. See, they think, because I've never discussed this with anybody in my life. Last year, 2017, Belinda sent me all these Facebook posts and everything. Because now I've figured out what's happened with me and why people have done and treated me like a rapist, pedophile and a pervert. Now they're trying to get me to orate loudly. See, they've condemned me and prosecuted me without any authority the system has. And they've done it without me actually expressing the story I just told you out loud. I've never spoken about that to anybody. They know about it. There's a few more stories because they know what I'm thinking. They can hear me discussing to myself. You see, when I saw Belinda on Facebook, what I think of Belinda, if I think to myself, I just thought to myself, the little girl in the blue dress. People can hear that. People can hear me say that to myself. So everywhere I've gone since 2011, because people thought I'm a pedophile or pervert or rapist, they've used some kind of technology to follow me around and just watch me. They can hear what I'm thinking, and they've orchestrated situations around me, and they've watched me just in normal places to see what my strain of thinking is, whether it's a perverted or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is how long people have been knowing what I'm thinking. I only found this out last year, 2017. So that story with Belinda, I've never told anybody. They know about it. When I was sitting with Maresce and we were with each other, they knew what I'm thinking that whole time. When I saw Erissa on Facebook or Natasha Sallie, they know what I'm thinking of these women. I don't even have to say anything. They know what I think of these women based on our past. If I think of our past together, they know what I'm thinking. I know it sounds crazy. Anyway. So now that story with Belinda became one of the stories of me being a pervert, because people think that I was spying or looking at Belinda. And all it was me just walking to the lounge to watch TV. She was laying there scratching herself in a little blue dress. She always wore a little denim dress. We used to go up to the park, me and David and her, and just muck around as uncle and nephews and nieces. So people have made me feel like I'm a pervert, you know what I mean? And this is only one of the stories. And that's all it was, nothing more. It's a very comical story when I think of it. It's a funny story. I've never spoken to anyone about it. So finally, when you see this video, you will finally have what you've been searching for. You know what I'm saying? Or what you've been queuing me up for, with all those posts and everything. And Anthony. Auntie Beverly. I thought to myself, when I went and Auntie Beverly picked me up from Parramatta train station, she picked me up and she was in a little short black skirt, you know, and a little top, and I thought, wow, it's my auntie. She looks so good. You know what I mean? She looked like she could be my girlfriend. You know, I expected my auntie to be to not look so hot, basically. That's all I can say. So yeah, I don't know, it's like people think because I thought that, like I've got some kind of racing mind to do with bloody woman or sex or something. Because now it's photos, it's my cousin, it's this situation. People have put it in a category of sinister sexual bloody notions. You know what I'm saying? And it's rubbish. Yeah, so anyway, I was getting gear off Nik as well from FMG. He used to work at FMG, white guy. Nik, cool dude, man. And John, the Irish fella that I met the year before, in 2012 from FMG, he's got gear as well. He's selling. He used to live in a caravan park up Mirrabooka side somewhere. So these guys, like John, tell you, orchestrated to be in my life. You know, I mean, they're supposed to be in my life. The system has organized in some way for these people to be around in my life. I didn't know that at the time. I caught up with Renee Cooper. Hadn't seen her for a long time. One of my old girlfriends from high school. We went to pick up her niece from the hospital. She was on dialysis because she drinks a lot, so her kidneys were failing. And anyway, we dropped them home. And it just so happens that where we dropped her home used to be a house where little Angie used to stay. Angie and Noreen Bennett. No, Angie used to stay there. I think it might have been the same little block of houses where Angie used to stay. Anyway, that's where we dropped Renee's niece off. And it was right across the park. So I think people were fishing from me to see if back in the day I used to run around and look over the fences or something to do with perversion and looking in people's houses. Because of the photos and all that kind of shit I got. You know, because people can read my thoughts, they're fishing from me now. After that we went to the primary school to pick up Jake and Jacinta. We were waiting there for a while. On the way, Renee asked me about Hayley. So what happened with Hayley, this and that? And I said, Yeah, I don't really remember. Which was the truth. I didn't actually think of what I do remember. I just thought of the main act of having sex, and that I don't remember at all. So my answers to people was, I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? And if I thought you were more important to my personal business, I would have treated my personal business a little more important with whoever, you know. Anyway. Yeah, so we were at the school, and I went to use the toilets there at the primary school. You know, little boys' toilets and little girls' toilets. So this all happens because they know what I'm thinking with the technology. So they want to see what I'm thinking when I'm going to the little boys' toilets or I'm waiting around little kids. They want to see whether I'm a pedophile. Because they can tell what I'm thinking. The technology. So anyway, picked them up. Renee dropped me home and she went on her way. I saw Mervy in time, my ex-wife. Mervy, my beautiful ex-wife. And we were in just next to Murray Street Mall. There's a Hungry Jackson that you come across. Anyway, I won't talk too detailed. I'll just tell you what happened. Like I said before, she just walked past me. She was on her phone. And I was walking and I noticed her and I was like, hey, Merv. I was quite excited to see her. And she was on her phone and she just kind of looked me like up and down, you know. And now I know. She done it on purpose.